Bada bada do dippity do da 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 dee da bada ree. Good morning, my loves. How are we? I am currently wearing a sweater that, for me, embodies the coziness of being at like a ski lodge in front of a wood burning fire, with like really fuzzy socks on and doing the whole thing, probably sipping a libation that definitely has Bailey's as one of the ingredients. So feels like luxury, honestly, when that's not the reality, but I'm experiencing that sensation. That's a beautiful thing because we get to travel by being where we are, tapping into an essence, an embodiment of feeling, sensations, and creating that reality from wherever you are, So there we go. I have to share something with you. Yep. It'd be amiss if I didn't, which is that yesterday I had a hair appointment, which I was like over the top looking forward to. It's rare that I do my hair. It had probably been like 14 months or something, and that doesn't bother me at all. Like, my hair is its own beast. It's its own thing, has its own expression. But I recently decided that I really wanted to have a pretty like ping pow drama, bold infusion by moving into kind of a ginger, rose gold space. I wanted something that popped, and like we put so much, hair, I don't know if you like, it's a lot. There's a lot of energy there, and yeah, it makes a difference, right? So I guess I had this idea, this vision that wasn't actualized, but that, and then this morning I was reflecting on it because, I was feeling some disappointment, and I really was aware that my expectation, I did have expectations and they were not met. And that's okay. Like, but you have to allow yourself to move through it and feel like a bit of a brat or whatever, but like, okay. So I really had to make an effort this morning at like being like, okay, so clearly what you desire, I'm speaking to myself here in the mirror or whatever, is just like, you want to have kind of a visual transformation. And so there are so many things that are within our fingertips that we can do in addition to our hair, right? So like put these little earrings on that made me feel nice, little shim, did the old brows, and I was like, okay, good. Now it's back within the realm of like what we do have control over. And that is always grounding, right? When we can come back into that center and get out of that expectation that, wasn't fulfilled and involved another person. And that's all good. And then also there's a piece where it's important to communicate exactly in what ways your needs or your desires or your expectations were not met, right? Because like, it's a bit of like advocating for yourself or communicating effectively and like giving the person an opportunity. Because again, we're not mind readers. Some of us a little more than others, but like tell them, express it. It would be, really silly of me to be like, well, screw that. That was a miss. And like, so now I'm just like not going to say it and I'm going to go somewhere else. And then I'm going to deliver on that. But that's not fair. It's not fair to me and it's not fair to them. And so, but I do want to talk a little bit about relationships today in relation to the way that we engage, interact, and communicate with our vision and with our businesses, right? I remember in one of the masterclasses that I hosted through the Social Brave a couple months ago, and one of the questions from a member was like, so when it comes to love relationships, I can really accurately gauge where we're at, and like can feel safety in that and feel like there's a two-way communication. And so, when things come up, then there's a discussion and we move beyond it, and you can feel a safety to deepen and really enrich that unconditional love space. But when it comes to my business, there's something different about it, and I can totally drop it, or turn my back on it, or feel like discouraged, or anything at all. But then how can I start to relate to my business the same way that I would in a partnership, whether it be a love relationship romantically or platonic or whatever? And it's like, how can we be engaging with our businesses in a way that they talk back, right? And that we give them the space to express themselves, and that we're also being radically honest and have the willingness to surpass challenges as they inevitably come up, because they're going to, right? So I think what we can kind of center ourselves with is having and claiming and being clear about what our desired outcome is, and what our expectation around success would be. So for relationships, sometimes it goes kind of without saying, but not necessarily, is longevity. So it's like, okay, well, I'm in this forever. So that to me lets me know and gives the other person an opportunity to be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm with that. I commit to that as well. So it's like in sickness and health, to death do us part kind of thing. And there's something really amazing that happens when you have that all in decision, and that both parties have the same, skin in the game, right? So it's like, it just allows you so much more space to have those ups and downs, knowing that no matter what, you're going to see it through, and that there's a willingness and an active participation on both ends. And so my invitation is to actually have that conversation with your business, with your vision, with your passion, what it is that you're pursuing that maybe you've kind of steered away from, or, loosened your grip on, or whatever. But it's like, it's always there. So it's like, how can you pump back some and rejuvenate that relationship, and bring the spark back into the long-term vision and experience? Because that no matter what, it's an unconditional, committed, loving, open, honest, communicative relationship, right? And let that provide you with safety, knowing that there's so much room, so much more beyond what we can conceptualize, because our vision has so much in store for us when we show up for it and say, yep, I'm doing this. And so we need to know what our expectations in this relationship are, what our capacity is, what we're looking for, what we want out of it. And we need to be super clear about what that means. So every time that a challenge appears, or every time that there's a hurdle or a setback or anything, it's like, okay, here we are. That's great. This is a part of the process. We're in this journey because we're growing together. And that's kind of the whole point, right? And growing in yourself and in that connection is also, by extension, growing all the other elements as well. So, of course, financially, whatever it is, your set of values, so whether it's freedom and travel and whatnot, then those will provide. They will be excellent. Your business and you in that relationship will be such an essential provider and deliver, excellent results on your set of values. So, Yeah, just a little check-in and say, have I ever had the conversation with the spirit of my business? Have I made a commitment to the union that I have with the vision? Do I leave room for challenges? Do I, expect things to fail, right? Do I expect resistance? Yes. Will that come up? Absolutely. Without the focus being on a specific result, especially when it's external. So the recognition from others, the applause, the words of affirmation, people signing up for your programs or your courses or whatever. It's like, I don't need to know all of the details about that. What I know and what I'm committed to showing up for every single day is to the union of the spirit of my business and myself. And for that, we both need to be active participants, and we need to be checking in with one another regularly so that we know that we're both on the same page, and that, it doesn't build resentment, or it doesn't have like a ghosting experience where it's like things got hard and I walked away. And it's like, okay, that can't be an option, right? In the big vision. Because if that's the case, then chances are we were expecting a result that was outside of our control and something that we didn't genuinely need. So pumping the nurture back in to the relationship of you and your vision as a way to move forward, feeling safe, feeling brave, feeling willing, honest, transparent, and encouraged constantly to go forward with the big vision. So that is my share for today, my loves. Thank you so much for being here. It's a beautiful thing. So stay tuned, give us a subscribe, enjoy, share with your friends, and we'll check in soon.